Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is my first experiment with my stick pick, and I'm using this video as a brief introduction to a couple of shakedown videos that I've done. So this video is about a shakedown hike I took not too far from Richmond, Virginia, where I live, on the Appalachian Trail, just north of the Priest, a pretty well-known place on the trail, which when you are going northbound has a very steep descent as you leave the top of which is essentially a mountain called the Priest. I did a loop hike as part of a shakedown hike that was just north of the Priest, but it took in something known as Three Ridges Mountain. And when you're going northbound, Three Ridges is just as steep a climb as the Priest is a steep descent. Because of the way I did the shakedown hike, I climbed Three Ridges southbound, which meant I had to climb down Three Ridges. It was an extraordinarily steep hike. I undertook it at the end of the day. I had to finish the hike actually at night with a lantern on, and that proved to be a very good experience to try to learn how to hike at night. I also was hiking in the rain and with wet leaves and wet rocks and a very steep descent. I found that to avoid injury, I had to proceed with great deal of caution, and I was supposed to go with a couple of friends who bailed on me because the weather wasn't very good. I thought it was a great opportunity to test out gear in what was pretty miserable weather, but I had a great time, and I say so in the video, and I meant it. It was a reminder of how eager I am to get out there and attempt this hike. So you'll see the weather, you'll see a little bit of the through hike. It's not a great video. It was one of the first I've done, just trying to learn to use my iPhone as a camera to create some of these videos. So this is just an intro to that little loop, little training hike. And again, thanks for coming back, and I hope you enjoy this and get a little sense of some of the practice and training I've done to try to get ready for this hike. So take a look and see if you would have enjoyed it as much as I did. I will say that I absolutely enjoyed it despite the weather, and it was just confirmation once again for me that I really want to do this. I'm willing to put up with some of the weather and challenges, and since I'm about 12 days away as I'm making this intro, my excitement is getting all the more heightened, and can't wait to get to Springer Mountain. So hope you enjoy this. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, this is the first video I've taken in connection with my Appalachian Trail through hike planning. I just thought I needed to capture this trail, and even though it's in November in the south, we're in Virginia, we've got these beautiful trees. And as you can hear, and I'll stop for a minute, we've got quite a shower of ice coming off of these trees. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I think it's probably warming up a little bit. And now, at the top of this ridge, the trees are letting go some of the ice that accumulated over yesterday and last night.
go on a little bit further, and I never expected to be making videos, but the more I planned for this hike, the more I watched a lot of great YouTubers out there. I thought there's an audience that really enjoyed seeing the trail and the scenery and the hikers' efforts on YouTube. So I'm gonna give it a shot. Real quickly, you can see the trail ahead on top of a ridge here, but of course we have no views right now. Hopefully before this shakedown trip is over, we'll have some beautiful color in the Shenandoah Mountains. But right now we've got a thick cloud cover and beautiful ice-covered trees. I'll check back a little bit later. Well, this is certainly some of the weather I expect to see in Georgia in February when I get my start. So in that sense, having a little shakedown in these conditions is quite inviting. I'm having a good time. It's right around freezing. It's a good temperature for hiking. I generate a lot of heat, of course, while you're carrying a pack. And it's quite pleasant. My hands are bare, and I've got
camera oriented wrong, and I thought I'd leave this in just for a moment to show you.
Raincoat on right now.
I learned how to do voiceover while I was trying to clean up my very first video. Appreciate you watching along, and I'm gonna not have you suffer through this any longer.
All right.
Okay. Guess people always like to see a little face behind the voice, and right now I don't have a stick pick, so this is a little close to me, but here we are having a good time despite thick clouds. It's a beautiful walk, and I'm having fun heading out on this shakedown hike as I try my gear a little bit more and work out any bugs I can figure out. So I don't really like looking at myself, and I think the scenery is better than me, so we'll turn this around and pick it up a little bit later.
Well, the weather's moderated a bit. I think as the afternoon wore on, it got a little warmer. I've also come down in elevation a little bit, and we don't have any ice anywhere. Just a very nice trail, some up, some down. I've got about 2 more hours to get to shelter tonight. I won't be staying at the shelter, but I'll be tenting near it. And this is what the trail looks like. Hopefully we'll get some sunshine before the trip is done. But again, having a good time. Ran into southbound THRU-HIKer about 30 minutes ago and had a good talk with him. He was carrying 50 pounds using the same backpack as I'm using. So maybe ultralight's not critical, and maybe my 20-25 pounds won't be so bad. So that's what we're out here for. Keep learning some things before the big trip, and we'll check back in later. Sometimes you work hard to get to these summits, and sometimes you get rewarded, and sometimes you don't. So here is what is billed for this day's hike, the best view of the hike. And there you have in the distance the beautiful foliage of the Shenandoah Mountains. Anyway, I'm still hopeful that before the hike's over we'll get a view of that. This is just a reminder that when taking a through hike, you're not going to get to every iconic spot with perfect weather, and you're just going to have to take the good with the bad, and it's all part of the experience. Okay, here is the Harper Creek shelter and tenting area on the creek. Here is the shelter itself. Not terribly unusual for shelters in the UP. Not terribly large. And down the hill, here's the creek. And here's where I set up last night. A little sagging from the rain. It was a pretty hard rain all night. So that's a campsite. We're a little downstream now from the campsite last night. Still heading south on the Appalachian Trail, crossing Harper's Creek here, and then we'll go out this way, and the trail will go up this way. Still got a light rain. Still expect it to clear this afternoon and have some great views. Hopefully I'll show you those later today. Talk to you later. Okay, I just came from where I'm pointing. Just climbed a gradual hill for 0.8 miles to bring me to this intersection with the Appalachian Trail and the May-Har Trail. Appalachian Trail heads to Georgia going that way, and the May-Har Trail is a Blue Blaze Trail that heads off this way. For this shakedown trip, I'm doing the rest of this trip on the May-Har Trail. It's often called the Three Ridges Loop. It is a very popular hike in Virginia. Anyway, still kind of drizzly, but having a good time, and looking forward to the rest of the day's hike. Okay, I've been descending on this blue blazed May-Har Trail now for good 15-20 minutes. You'll see it's a little slow going with the fairly steep incline and a lot of wet leaves. I'm taking it pretty carefully so I don't slip, but once again, it's a good hike, enjoying it, and weather has not cooperated. We still got some light rain, and we're just going to push on. And this trail has taken us down into this hollow where there's a swimming hole and some waterfalls. Pretty steep down there. We'll eventually get down to that creek, I think, and when we get there I'll show you around.
Well, it never cleared the second day, and fortunately on the third day we were greeted with this beautiful scene at Humpback Rocks. And that's all for this video, and thanks for watching my very first video. It was